Good morning, third graders, or afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. I'm super excited to be here talking to you today about pounds and ounces. Now, just a little reminder here, or just a heads up, pounds and ounces are one of the trickier concepts that we learn in math in third grade. So if you're not quite sure how to do everything, that's why I'm here on this video to kind of walk you through. So the first part of our lesson, 7.3a, pounds and ounces, has to do with reading scales. So I made two scales for you. This one is a little bit off. I made a mistake. Imagine that. So as always, my drawings are never perfect, but we're just going to pretend that they are. Okay, so this scale over here is pretty simple. Okay, we know that there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. This scale has all 16 ounces in it. So if the arrow were pointing to the 5, we know that the weight would be 5 ounces, right? Because if you go one full time around, it would be 1 pound. So there are 16 markers, one for each ounce. What if I were to draw the arrow to this number? What would the weight be then? Go ahead and pause your device. Tell me your answer. That's right. It would be 11 ounces. Okay, so wherever the arrow is pointing is what the weight is in ounces. So if it's going almost to 1 pound or 16 ounces and it's pointing at the 15, the weight would be 15 ounces. Okay, now let's go to this scale over here. It's a little bit trickier because we have 1, 2, 3 main numbers. I'll make sure that those are nice and bold. And then the fourth main one up here that says 0. So we have 0 pounds, 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, 4 pounds. Okay, now let's say the arrow was pointing somewhere in between 3 and 4 pounds. Okay, we would know that we're starting with 3 pounds. Okay, the tricky part now is to figure out how many ounces that there are. Okay, so we have these nice little dash marks. There's 16 from 3 to 4, right? So that means that each dash mark is an ounce. So let's count. We have 3 pounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ounces. Okay, 3 pounds, 8 ounces. Now I'm going to draw my arrow right to here. Okay, what would the weight be if my arrow is pointing right there? Let's find out together. I know it's a little bit hard to see if you're not here in person. So let's look. We're in between 2 and 3 pounds. So our first point is 2 pounds. Okay, now let's count how many ounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now scholars, what if you come across something that looks like this? Okay, let's say all of our dashes were gone. Well, let's just erase the whole thing. I'll be right back. Okay, scholars, I'm back. Sorry, I had to redraw my scale. What if our scale looked like this, right? So we start at 0 pounds. Down here is 1 pound. And then between every half pound, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 markers. So first I would ask myself, how many ounces is here, right? I know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. So half a pound would be 8 ounces. So that means I'm wondering if we go from 0 to 8 in 4 steps, that means that each step is 2 ounces. Okay, so if I draw an arrow here, what would that be? We have 8 ounces. Remember, each jump is 2. 2, 4, 6. So this would be 8 ounces plus 6 ounces, which is 14 ounces. Okay, again, my scale is not very perfect. We know that 14 ounces would be more like down here, but that's what's going on. If we had an arrow pointing to here, we know that 1 pound is 16 ounces, and if each of our jumps is 2 ounces, it'd be 16, 18, 20 ounces, or 1 pound, 4 ounces. Okay, so make sure that when you're looking at your scales, you're really looking at what the divisions are so that you are putting the correct numbers in the answers. Okay, so now we're going to go over a few conversion problems. Okay, we're going to start off by taking pounds and putting them into ounces. So like I did with the months of the year and inches in a foot, I made a cheat sheet over on this side. Now it's more important for me to make a cheat sheet for pounds and ounces because I know my 12 facts, I don't know my 16 facts, because that's not something that we learn in 3rd grade. So I'm going to really recommend that you make yourself a cheat sheet down the side of your page. So you know that 1 pound is 16 ounces, 2 pounds is 32, 3 pounds is 48, 4 pounds is 64, 5 pounds is 80, 6 pounds is 96, 7 pounds is 112, 8 is 128, 9 pounds is 144, 10 pounds is 160, and 11 pounds is 176 ounces. Let's move back a little bit so you can see that. Okay, great. So we're going to really use that today in our lesson, okay? Our first question that I'm going to ask you is 7 pounds. We write pounds LBS. I'm not sure why. We just do. Equals how many ounces? Okay. My second one is going to be 5 pounds, 12 ounces equals how many ounces? And our third one of today is 3 pounds, 10 ounces is how many ounces? Now, the first one's very simple, especially because we already have our cheat sheet written out, right? So we can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we know that 7 pounds is 112 ounces. If you decided not to do a cheat sheet, you could do 16 times 7. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11. It's a great way to check your work. It's also a great way to find the answer. Okay, so our next one is 5 pounds, 12 ounces. Okay, so like we did before, we could use our cheat sheet and just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 80 pounds. Or we could do 16 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 80. So we have 80 pounds. Then we need to add, we'll check that off so we know that we did it. Then we need to add our 12 ounces, which gives us how many, gang? That's right, 92 ounces. I'm going to have you do this third one on your own, so go ahead and pause your device, and we will go over it in a second. All right, coming back. 3 pounds, we know that 3 times, oops. Let's line it up how we would actually solve it. 16 times 3 is, 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. So we know that 3 pounds is 48 ounces. We add our 10 ounces here and we have 58 ounces there. Nice job. All right. Now is the trickier of the conversions, going from ounces into pounds or going ounces to pounds and ounces in compound units. Now this is where our cheat sheet is going to really come in handy, okay? Because we don't know our 16 facts, so it's really hard to do long division without our cheat sheet. Okay, so first, I'm going to ask you, okay, 48 ounces equals how many pounds? Second one we're going to do is 144 ounces is how many pounds? Now here's where we get tricky and into compound units. 52 ounces is how many pounds, how many ounces? Let's start with those 3 problems first. Okay, if you're looking at your cheat sheet, which you should be, you can see that simply that 48 ounces is 3 pounds. You can see that 144 ounces is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pounds. Okay, now this is where we get tricky. Remember when we were doing months of the year and inches in the foot, and when we do long division, we see how close we can get to the number without going over. So we have 52, 16, 32, 48, 64, too far, so we have to go back, right? So that's 1, 2, 3 pounds. Okay, I'm going to write minus 48 because once we know how many ounces are in 3 pounds, we need to find the difference between 52 and 48. Okay, we already have 48 of the ounces taken care of, but how many more ounces do we need to get to 52? I know that many of you in your head are already going, Mrs. Halverson, that's too simple. It's 4. 52 minus 48 is 4. So the difference is going to be our ounces. So we have 52 ounces equals 3 pounds, 4 ounces. Let's do 3 more just like that. This is really important to practice a lot of since it is a trickier concept. Okay, let's see. 100 ounces. Let's do a nice round number. Is how many pounds? How many ounces? Okay, then let's do 134 ounces is how many pounds, how many ounces? And then finally, let's do a one, it's really gonna trick you. 156 ounces is how many pounds, how many ounces? Let's do one more together just for practice sake, and then I'm going to have you do the last 2 on your own. Okay, so 100 ounces is how many pounds, how many ounces? Here we go, 100, 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, 96, 112, too far. Go back, we're at 96. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pounds. Okay, I start 96 to make sure that we're really paying attention to that 96 because we have taken care of 96 of 100. So what's the difference between 100 and 96? 4. Okay, 6 pounds, 4 ounces. All right, scholars, I'm going to have you pause your device in just a minute. 134 ounces is how many pounds, how many ounces? 156 ounces is how many pounds, how many ounces? Go ahead, pause your device, and we'll be right back to solve. Welcome back, scholars. I hope that went well for you and you didn't struggle too much through it. I know you all probably have your math brains on, so you probably did really well. Okay, so 134. Let's see how close we can get to 134 without going over. Here we go. 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, 96, 112, 128, 144, 160. We went too far. Okay, so we are at 144. Okay, so 144. I'm going to write that down here. Okay, now I forgot how many pounds that is, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pounds. Oops. Silly Mrs. Halverson. For some reason I did this one first. We're at 9 pounds. Okay, now we want to find out the difference between 156 and 144, because if you look at it this way, we took care of 144 out of 156, and we need to find the other number. Okay, 6 minus 4 is 2. 5 minus 4 is 1. 100 minus 100 is nothing. So our leftover is 12, and that would be our ounces. So we have 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Okay, so for 134, let's see, 16, 32, 48, 64, 80, 96, 112, 128, 144, too far. We're at 128. I'm gonna write that under here so we don't forget. Now let's count how many pounds is that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8 pounds. Now we find the difference between 134 and 128. 14 minus 8 is 6. 20 minus 20 is 0. 100 minus 100 is 0, which we don't even write. So our answer is 8 pounds, 6 ounces. So again, scholars, this is a pretty tricky conversion process because we're not very used to using 16 as a number to convert. So if you have any questions or you're struggling at all, please come to my office hours. I have one office hour in the morning from 9 to 10 and one office hour in the afternoon from 1:30 to 2:30. I hope to see you there if you're struggling. Have a great day.